In this video, I'm going to go over the playing style recruiting grade in Dynasty Mode. And since I've been playing, this has been the most volatile recruiting grade on the game. And you can lose out on your players transferring or lose out on recruits simply because of this recruiting grade. Now, how do you lose out on them and how do your players transfer? If playing style is their deal breaker, then if you don't pretty much achieve certain stats throughout the season, then your players are going to be at risk of transferring. So I've simmed 11 games so far, and you can see I have a couple players at risk of transferring. So it will tell you what players are at risk of transferring, and you also will be locked out of certain recruits. So with that, to explain it, each position has about 3 different archetypes, and the different archetypes, they have different stats that are attached to the playing style. So it's not by your playbook or anything like that. It is by a specific stat. So first, I will go through all this different stats so you kind of understand that. Then I will show you the players on my team and why they're at risk why they are at risk of transferring. And then I will then show you guys some prospect and stuff and show you guys the transfer portal as well. So all the quarterbacks, all their grades are tied to passing yards per game. But you can see I have a D- if you look on the right, and our passing yards per game is only 227 throughout the season. So how do you want to improve that? It's simply you either play the games or sim, but your players got to throw more passing yards. So like I said, all quarterbacks, they care about passing yards. Now, if their deal breaker is not playing style, then it won't matter as much. Now you can see I have a D for power back. So power back and elusive back is both rushing yards per game. You can see we only got 78 rushing yards per game. So you can see one of my running backs is at risk of transferring as well. But receiving back, you can see it says how to improve is receiving yards per game. So I have a D- as well because we don't have a great passing game or running game. So anyone that has playing style on offense pretty much is at risk of transferring. Now, it is receiving yards per game, not by position. So your receivers' receiving yards does count towards this grade as well. Fullback, both are rushing yards per game. So you can see I have a D there. Same thing for receivers is receiving yards, and receiving yards for all the different archetypes. Tight end blocking is going to be rushing yards per game. You can see my grades just suck for pretty much every category since, I am UTEP and we are 5 and 6. And apparently our offense is terrible. So you can see D-, vertical threat is receiving yards, possessions, receiving yards. So pass protector for pretty much any of the O-line is sacks allowed. And you see we got a D because we've allowed 23 sacks on the year. And then power is going to be rushing yards per game and agile as well. And you can see I got a D there as well. And it's pretty much going to be the same for all the offensive line. Pass protector is going to be sacks allowed. Any of the other ones are going to be rushing yards per game. And like I said, I can just go through those quick and show you guys since those are all the same. So the O-line, all the archetypes are the same for different positions. Now defense, you can see we got an A+ for speed rusher because it's sacks, and we have 31 sacks on the year, so we're getting pressure. So anyone that's playing style is speed rusher archetype or power rusher, since sacks is how do you improve it, we got 31 sacks. And then run stopper, though, is going to be tackles for loss. So you see we got an F for run stopper DNs, so that is not good because we only have 25 tackles for loss on the year. So we have more sacks than tackles for loss on the year. D tackle, same thing. So run stopper is going to be tackles for loss, which you can see of an F, and you can see our player at most risk is a D tackle. But if we had a speed rusher, our speed rushers will be happy because we got A+ because we're getting sacks. So like I said, it is tied to your archetype. Now outside linebackers, sacks for power rusher. Pass coverage is going to be interceptions. So you can see we got an A- because we have 12 interceptions on the year. And run stopper is going to be tackles for loss, so we have an F for those type of archetypes. And then middle linebackers, tackle for loss for field general. Pass coverage is going to be interceptions, which is an A-. And then run stopper, tackles for loss is an F. And the corners, I'm pretty sure all are going to be interceptions. Yep, and we have an A- for those. Safety, interceptions for zone, interceptions for hybrid. Run support is probably going to be tackles for loss. Yep, and it's going to be F. Now kicking accurate is going to be field goals made. So you see we have an A, but for power kickers or punters, it's going to be field goal, longest field goal on the year, and you see it's a D, and you can see I have a punter down there. Now, with that, like I said, your players will be at risk of transferring if their deal breaker is playing style. If it's not, then it doesn't matter as much. Now, so how you want to improve it pretty much is whatever those categories are for quarterbacks, you want to pass the ball more if their playing style is their deal breaker because, you know, more passing yards. If you're trying to get someone rushing playing style, you got to run the ball. So you might have to play the games, or you got to build your teams and recruit players that fit your playing style. Now, I seen for me I had the transfer portal, and, you know, 1 year I didn't get no interceptions, and my whole secondary did, like, pretty much left, and I couldn't get no one in the transfer portal because their deal breakers are usually playing style is why they're in the transfer portal. So I noticed for me, I struggled in the transfer portal at corner that same year because of that. Now, like I said, I can show you that as the prospect list, and I can just show you example because I remember here, quarterback, Wisconsin, and you can see this dude's deal breaker. Oh, let me move my camera real quick. But his deal breaker is playing style, and I have a D-, he needs a B, so I can't even add him to my recruiting board at all. So I have pretty much no chance to get him, and it will be the same for you guys that are leaving. Now, how do you check this for your current players? Because you can see on this screen that it only tells you, you know, players at risk. Well, you want to go see what their archetype is to figure out how to improve it. So, like, you will go to your roster, and then you will go to, you know, you can look at the different positions. So, like, I can go look at halfback, and this is the one that's at risk of transferring. And you can see on the right, he's an elusive back, so his rushing yards, not receiving yards, and the playing style is his deal breaker at a D. So that you can also go to the player card as well, and it'll show you the playing style or what his deal breaker is playing style. Now, same thing for D tackle. Like I said, so this is the top dude that was, you know, deal breaker. Again, let me move my camera real quick. F, because he's a run stopper. You can see on the top right. But someone else on my team, like power rusher, if their deal breaker was playing style, it wouldn't matter as much because obviously they are we're getting sacks, not tackles for loss, which is different for the run stopper. Now, I will show you guys too. You kind of want to memorize the different what archetype is for what, because the game is kind of bugged out. I'll show you guys just this real quick. If you go now back, like if you click on different menus and stuff, you can see quarterback's still the same, but like now when I go to like kicker, it says tackle for loss and power. So I will just show you guys real quick how to fix that. You pretty much just got to every time, unless you memorize it, because I don't think it really messes with that much. You just got to back out to the main menu, and you can jump back in. And then once you go back in, it'll go back to what it's actually be, which they hopefully can fix that bug. But yeah, I'm going to sim a little bit to show you guys the transfer portal and kind of, you know, how do you go about that. And like I said, if you want to improve these stats, you pretty much got to play the games, or you got to just recruit players that fit your style. But let me go to the school real quick and then show you guys. See, now when I backed out, everything's back to normal. It's back to field goals made and stuff. But yeah, let me go ahead and sim and show you guys the transfer portal. And like I said, most of the players are going to be they're going to be in the transfer portal because of their deal breaker. So if their deal breaker is playing style, you know, you're probably not going to be able to even recruit the transfer. So I can even replace my cornerbacks in the 1 year because, you know, we didn't get no interceptions. So all my playing style targets that I had recruited, they all left because, you know, we didn't get interceptions. And then everyone in the transfer portal, their deal breaker was playing style, and I had a bad grade because we didn't get no interceptions. So I'll kind of show you guys that with probably, let's try to look at running back. And see, this menu pops up after every week to show you guys, and we just went on a 3-game winning streak. Wow. Finished 8-6. But this menu pops up after every time you advance it. So, and you can see your other players at risk for transferring, which I don't think my D tackle transferred at all, which is kind of interesting. So when you go to the transfer portal, boom, here's this, and I'll show you guys the running backs just for my example, unless we started running the ball in those last 3 weeks. So you see this dude is playing time, his deal breaker is playing time, and we can give him playing time. Our running back's no good. But for anyone else, deal breakers, playing style, so D, because we didn't get the rushing yards, so we can't even recruit this player. D-, playing style. D, playing style. And you can see this is an elusive back, so it's a D. This is a receiving back, so it's a D-. So that's how you can kind of see the difference. But either way, they're all these running backs right here are in the transfer portal because now these ones are playing time, pro potential. But all the playing style ones, we aren't going to be able to get none of the playing style running backs because we didn't run the ball. So like I said, the players are going to be in the transfer portal because of their deal breaker. So like this dude's in the transfer portal because of brand exposure. So his past school at FIU, they didn't have brand exposure. So with that, like I said, playing style has been the most kind of volatile one that I've seen the most players transfer, and I have had the most trouble keeping up. So my tip is pretty much, if you want to play the games and go for those playing styles where, you know, you want someone that's passing, you got to pass the ball and get those passing yards per game up. If you want a running back that's playing style, you want to run the ball and get those running yards up, unless it's a receiving back. So you got to kind of play to your style and recruit to your style. Another tip is you can just not recruit players that their deal breaker is playing style, but that will limit your recruiting. So if you know, if their deal breaker is not playing style, and you know, like my favorite ones to recruit have been proximity to home, because that doesn't change, or also playing time. Usually if I know they're going to play, that one doesn't change unless you recruit over them. And those players, you don't really have too much of a risk of transferring. But the playing style one, you have a big risk if you're not playing. And the defensive ones, I mean, it's really just tough. You either got to play the games and get a lot of interceptions for, you know, defensive backs and stuff, or you got to get a lot of sacks for your, you know, your pass rushers, tackles for loss for the run stoppers. But other than that, it's kind of, you know, recruit how you want to play. That's what it's called, playing style. Or you recruit people that deal breakers aren't playing style. It's that simple. But that's going to be it for this video. Let me know in the comments if this video helped you out. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see y'all in the next one.